Okay. Again, I'd like to welcome everybody to the webinar today. I'm Mike McCarty. I'm the CEO of Safe Hiring Solutions and SafeVisitor Solutions. A couple quick housekeeping items. One, we have everybody muted, cuts down on a lot of background noise, although I see a couple ambulances and police cars pulling up next to our office, so hopefully that doesn't bleed into this very loudly. We also are recording this, so we'll make that available for anybody else on your team or that you would want to share this with after we finish. So without anything further, I think we'll go ahead and get started. Today, we want to welcome our partners at CrisisGo, as well as John Mock, who is on our advisory board, but he's also a longtime customer of both CrisisGo and Safe Hiring and SafeVisitor Solutions. And John has graciously agreed to show you how CrisisGo and Safe Hiring and SafeVisitor Solutions have brought together a 360 integrated school security solution. And so in just a little bit, we'll walk through that process. But to start with, some of you may be familiar with Safe Hiring, some may be familiar with CrisisGo. So I want to pass it over to the team at CrisisGo to do a quick introduction, a little background on CrisisGo. We'll do the same when they're done, and then we'll walk through the process and show you how this all works together.
Thank you. I appreciate get me off of mute here for a second. Appreciate the introduction. My name is Chris Bexler. I'm the VP of Marketing for CrisisGo. I want to thank our partners at SafeVisitor and absolutely thank John for jumping on to this webinar today and talking about how two companies who are passionate about safety and security can and are, in the case of John and many other accounts, working together to integrate technologies and come up with a very comprehensive 360-degree solution. I'll just go through a very quick couple of slides to introduce CrisisGo, and then we'll turn it over to the star of the presentation. CrisisGo is an incident management platform, and what that does is it coordinates alerts and warnings along with messages and communications to help staff members manage a crisis situation. We do this through a variety of devices, whether it be mobile phones, PCs, and our integration and open API allow us to integrate with additional technologies and safety hardware like visitor management systems. We'll talk about that a little bit more in just a second. If you can go to the next slide, an incident management platform has at its core the ability to rapidly respond to incidents, whether they be an active intruder or a fire or any sort of a threat, a medical emergency, any sort of a crisis or a critical or an enhanced situation. A platform like CrisisGo gives staff members the ability to be an instant responder and respond immediately to that incident. But a comprehensive platform like CrisisGo includes many other tools that allow the on-site safety team to respond and manage their staff, the people that they're accountable for through that type of through that situation. That includes digitizing some of the safety plans. It includes tools to be able to account for staff members and students, be able to reunify students with parents if there's an evacuation situation. And the platform includes a number of tools to even help try to avoid incidents by building a culture of safety and driving awareness throughout an organization. If you can go to the next slide. CrisisGo is a very easy to use integrated safety platform. All of these tools coming together to help instill a culture of safety and security throughout school. Again, it's designed to be instantaneous response to a situation, allowing any staff member to sound the alarm, to put out a warning, to notify the on-site teams that there's a situation there. And the great thing about CrisisGo's platform is the fact that it can integrate with all safety and security systems and make sure that those can be activated as the response protocols dictate. What this means is that a safety platform like CrisisGo connects with all safety systems within a school. I mentioned earlier visitor management system, and what we're going to hear John talk about today is how CrisisGo is integrated with their safe visitor management system to allow the visitor management system to detect potential threats early, and the CrisisGo platform enables the safety team to be alerted instantly and reduce the response time to potential threats. A platform like CrisisGo can also be integrated with any other hardware on a site, including cameras and strobes and lights, sensors, alarms, and other softwares as well. And what this means is that when there is a situation where instant notification is needed, everything can be activated through this platform, and it accelerates the response. Everybody would agree that reducing the response time to a critical situation is key to being able to manage it and mitigate the damage. One of the reasons that we are proud to be working with Safe Hiring Solutions and SafeVisitor is the fact that we're market leaders, and we share that same passion for safety and security. And CrisisGo is absolutely committed to helping our customers prevent and prepare for critical situations, and then respond and recover from them when they do occur. That is kind of the brief introduction to CrisisGo.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Chris, for that. What I wanted to do is flip over here and let me pull up the correct screen. My apology. Real quickly, kind of the background of Safe Hiring Solutions, SafeVisitor Solutions. We've been around almost 15 years. Started out Safe Hiring Solutions as kind of the parent company, and I started Safe Hiring 15 years ago after about 10 years in law enforcement as a violent crime detective. So Safe Hiring Solutions, an international background screening firm. We do hundreds of thousands of background checks annually. We built SafeVisitor about 7 years ago. John, who is going to show you the integration here in a second, actually was one of two clients that actually sat at the table as we designed SafeVisitor. And a lot of what John brought to the table, and I'll let him share more if he wants to, is, you know, he had some experience with visitor management. He said, here's the things we're looking for. Here's the things that are missing. And so we actually had schools sitting at the table as we built SafeVisitor. We have anywhere from one building private schools to the 7th largest school district in the United States that use SafeVisitor. Cloud-based system, a lot of different integrations. It allows you to process volunteers integrated with background checks. It's a cloud-based system, easy to deploy, nothing really to manage on the IT or infrastructure side. All of this is configurable. You can integrate within your student information system for late arrival, early dismissal, any of those options exist within the system. Kind of some of the key differentiators within SafeVisitor, because we come from a long law enforcement background. We have team members that served with the Secret Service on presidential details, former Navy SEALs, school security directors. So we have a really broad base of experience within security in the school space. And so what we've done is created a process by where you can manage everything within one dashboard. You can use a simple application. You can use a very comprehensive application process. And how that works is, you know, to manage high volume visitors like a volunteer, you have an application process, and you can create as many of these registration types as you want or need, and you can tie them to different levels of background checks. You've got a policy statement that they would agree to. Then they can enter the information required for the background check. It sends it over to Safe Hiring as the background screening provider. If that background check comes back and it's clear, you can set rules that say automatically approve the volunteer. If there's a criminal history, we can flag that. We hold it. You have to review it. and then make some determination on whether or not that is a prohibitive offense or if they can be approved. We have organizations that run some 50,000 background checks a year through the system. So not only does it kind of automate the front end of that vetting process, it also manages the renewal process. So when you set up, if you say, hey, we want to check our volunteers every year, some states require that, or we do it every 2 years, 3 years, whatever that interval is, we plug that into the system and SafeVisitor will manage that for you. 30 days before the background check expires, it starts to communicate with your volunteer or your vendor or your substitute teacher, whomever that is. Let them know that it's going to expire in 30 days. We'll send them an email once a week, give them a link to renew the background check. And so it takes a lot of the management piece of volunteers off of a team member looking at an Excel spreadsheet and trying to manage that internally. Some of the other features that we just released within the last year, we integrated with about 90% of the jails across the United States. So some of the inherent issues with a background check, we do a background check today, they rob a bank tomorrow, we don't know about it unless we see it in the news. With this arrest alert integration for about 10 cents a month or $1.20 a year on a volunteer or an employee or a vendor, you can add arrest alert to the system. If you add arrest alert to the system, then once they're arrested and booked into a jail or booking institution, it automatically sends an alert to SafeVisitor. We move them to an under review category. It sends your team an alert, whoever's responsible for managing this, that does not allow them to scan in and out of your buildings until there has been an investigation and somebody on the team has manually moved them back to approve or permanently denied them. We have capabilities of doing geofencing. So around your buildings, we can geofence them. High frequency visitors, as they approach a building, they either push a doorbell on their app, or if they have location services turned on their mobile device, it'll automatically send their information to the dashboard like you see here. You've got pre-registration options. So on a day like an event like Veterans Day, Grandparents Day, Donuts with Dads, where you're going to have a lot of individuals coming to a building, having them scan in and out, the process here would allow them to pre-register. There's a link, they can pre-register, it stores them in a queue on the day of arrival. All their information's on the dashboard, one click, print, enter, and they're moving through the building. What we want to show you today is how we've taken kind of the front end, trying to control security, access control, who's allowed into the building, who's been vetted. So a lot of the front end is really dealing with kind of the prevention side. And then there's some concepts within SafeVisitor for managing, individuals that show up on the premise, like an excluded party that's not allowed on the school property, or somebody that's denied entry, like a sex offender trying to enter a building. How we have teamed up with CrisisGo, we've integrated this process so we can pass that over to their application and manage that within the alert system as you're accustomed to in the CrisisGo environment. All right, John, I am going to stop sharing on my end and allow you to take over on your side.
All right, thank you, Mike. Hi, everyone. John Mock here, Director of Human Resources and Compliance for the School City of Hobart. We are a small to medium-sized district, about 4,000 students across 6 buildings in the Northwest Indiana area, about an hour east of Chicago. So as Mike had mentioned, we really were looking for, when we partnered with them with SafeVisitor, we were looking for a robust solution really in terms of access control. Who's coming in and out of our building? Are they approved to be here? Rather than relying on those paper sign-in sheets in the front office. So working with them, Mike mentioned some of those various things that we have in SafeVisitor that are all very great tools for us. And then, of course, we've also been a CrisisGo customer for the last few years, and they have a great amount of tools for us to really have communication with our staff and provide that immediate notification of an incident that might be occurring in a building. One of the other things that we've done in the last 2 years is we now have a kiosk system with SafeVisitor, so that when our visitors are coming up to the building, they're actually scanning their license into the SafeVisitor system within the vestibule. So they are not actually inside the building when that process is taking place. We keep them in that secure vestibule until we're sure that they're approved to be in the building. So one of the great things about that is it requires their government photo ID. So we're not relying on them to type in a name that might be fictitious. It really is, we know it's their government identification, and we know who that person is. So for demo purposes, I am in one of my elementary schools today, and if we had a visitor that was coming in the building, and I'm just going to go ahead and search by name here. If I have this person that's coming in that is a potential exclusion, and I looked for this person here. We've got Barney here that's going to try to come in the building. As I process this visitor, I apologize, I don't have a webcam, but that's okay. This information here is going to auto-populate from their license as they scan in. And then when we continue to allow them in the building here, you can see right down at the bottom, I'm getting this potential matching exclusion. This person is restricted to enter this building here, here at Ridgeview. And so I'm just going to go ahead and put some information in here. And this is for a demo. Okay, if I were to hit allow right now, it would actually give me a warning to confirm that I've reviewed that potential matching exclusion or that possible sex offender. Before I click the deny button, I just kind of want to talk through what's going to happen here. So when I hit this deny button, there's a couple things that are going to happen all simultaneously. Here in the School City of Hobart, we are fortunate that we have a very great relationship with the Hobart Police Department. We actually have a school resource officer in each one of our 6 schools, which has been a tremendous resource. So when I hit this deny button, all of their devices, all of the SROs, plus all of our other security team members and the administration within that building, so about 10 or 15 people, they're all going to get a notification both from SafeVisitor and from CrisisGo. So SafeVisitor is going to send them a text message and an email alerting them that Barney here is trying to enter Ridgeview and he's not permitted, they need some help in the main office. Also at the same time as that text message and the email is going out, CrisisGo is going to send us an alert inside one of our message groups that this is actually occurring at Ridgeview. And I'll talk about what we kind of do after I go ahead and hit this deny. But I will let you know that I have already warned all of my people here in the district that this is about to happen, so they should not be too alarmed. So when I hit deny, you can see that I've been alerted. Okay. And you can probably hear my cell phone. I'm going to try to cancel this here. So my cell phone and my computer now are alerting me that there is a situation at Ridgeview. I'm sorry. Now I'm in this message group here with CrisisGo, and I'm going to go ahead and let them know this is demo purposes only. And now I've started a dialogue with those officers. You can see I have one of my school resource officers that just, notified me that he copies that this is a test. We can start having that communication. So I'll also show you what I got here from my email. If I can get this pulled up. I'll go ahead and just drag this email in here for you. You can see now that I've gotten the email. I've gotten that it's an unauthorized visitor. Barney Rebel is on premise at Ridgeview and I need some help. I've also gotten a picture of that person. We don't have a picture of our fake person here. But I am getting that alert. So I've gotten the text message, I've gotten the email, and now you can also see here within CrisisGo, I've got quite a bit of communication here with all my folks that they've received the alert, they're aware. And so what if this was a real situation, what would be happening at this point in that school? My SRO is obviously immediately responding to that front office to assist. But because all of my other SROs have also gotten that alert, they have some situational awareness. So I have a school about a half a mile away from Ridgeview. That SRO is likely checking his perimeter, making sure that he is secure at that location. Other SROs on the other side of town here can actually hop on our camera system and start watching what's occurring at Ridgeview, and they can communicate with road patrol, even with Hobart Police Department, if we need additional officers on scene, and just kind of have some scene control there while we get the situation under control. But really, this message group here within CrisisGo is just great information for us. We have that open dialogue. I don't have to create a new text message group or try to call that SRO while they're responding. We've got all that information here within the system for us. So just combining the power of both SafeVisitor and CrisisGo, it has reduced our response time. As you heard, the panic alarm going off in the background, there is no way that anyone is going to possibly miss that, where they might overlook a text message, might overlook an email. You can't miss that piercing sound that's letting you know, hey, there's something going on and we need some help. So again, it's just been a great resource for us to put both of these together just to further enhance the safety of our schools.
Very good. Thanks, John. I appreciate that. If you don't mind stopping your sharing of screen, that'll let me get back and see if we have any questions. I'm not seeing any questions. So I would like to thank both Chris and John, especially John, taking time out of your day at school to share, how you bridged the two systems together and created kind of a 360 solution there at Hobart. If you do have any questions, certainly you can reach out to Safe Hiring Solutions and/or CrisisGo. We'll be happy to set up one-to-ones or share more information. Or if you want to contact John, we're happy to share that information as well. He's always more than willing to help out and share what he's doing at Hobart. So again, thank everybody for joining today. We hope you have a great rest of your day.